Look at the carnage. Alright guys, I just had to show you this monstrosity that I put together. So, we start with the resource collectors that feed directly into the refinery bot. The refinery bot feeds directly into this chest, which this chest. Which feeds into that chest, which feeds into that chest, which feeds into that chest, which feeds into that chest. Yes, I know that chest is upside down, but it had the opening for the chest on top. I left this one facing this way, so when I take my chest off the car, I can just plug it right here into the front without any problem. They feed into that, which feeds all the way around to complete the circuit. So you build something, and then it feeds into that, which feeds into this first chest. So I don't have to move anything start to finish. I can just, once I get it in there, I can just build to my heart's content. Alright guys, here's the current monstrosity. I have a couple switches put up to my drill here, and an extra engine and a controller. So the first switch is connected to the engine and the bearings at the front of the drills and on that piece that lets the drill spin. If I push one, that section there spins. If I push one again, it turns off. I don't know why it goes to the right, to the right before going to the left. But then if I also have two pressed up to some bearings which are connected to the controller that's right there in front of me with that little electricity symbol on it, and if I press that, it angles this down. Which isn't quite perfect, but it makes it where anything that's on the ground gets hit a little bit better. Ideally, I think when I do this again, I'll put in some extra pistons that raises that whole thing up a little bit and lets it go straight down at the ground and raise and lower and push down on things as it spins. And if I turn it off, it goes back to that mode. So here's the prototype that I will use to collect some more resources. And once it's daylight, I'll show you guys. We'll test it out and see how it works. Righty guys, we're right here at dawn. I figured I'd give this thing a try. Don't know how well it's gonna work, but here's the test. Alright, well that's not what we want. Well, it seems like it got jammed. Let's put it back up on the lift to reset it. And let's turn... I want to disconnect this spinny one and see if that helps. If I don't connect it to anything, it's just going to be floppy. So at the moment, I'm going to connect it. I need to upgrade this again. At the moment, we're going to connect it to there just because. So it's doing its thing, but not flopping around. Alright. And it's still flopped around. This is because... Oh, that one was on. That's why it flopped down. Okay. See what this does to that guy. I can't hit him with it. Oh yay, another head. Let's turn those off. We'll leave those off while I'm getting into position, so I'm not wasting too much gas, because it's suddenly becoming expensive. I turned on the second thing that should tilt it down a little bit. Oh yeah, now the second one also rotates. I broke it. Alrighty. Let's take some of that extra rotation out of there, and I'll be right back. So, I figured out something that I thought I would share. Once they're in these smaller sections, you can smack them with your hammer to break them up. Which is less fun, but it does mean that I don't have to invent a special machine to break the ones on the ground. An added bonus, it does work kind of well to have a drill in the front and a drill underneath. I think if I was going to do this though, that I would put some more drills on the front and some more drills underneath. And maybe something to raise and lower the car a little bit at will. A couple pistons would do that nicely. Oh, that's a way that I can see where I'm going at night or in the... So all those connection points are visible through trees. There's some way over there that I have no idea. Oh, that's probably the stuff in my room. So yeah, if I'm ever out here and I don't know where my car is, or where my house is, if it's within a reasonable amount, I can see it with my connection tool. That's pretty convenient. Alright guys, I've changed up the drill a little bit and figured I'd show you that I can kill farbots with it. And they get really scared of it and kind of back off. I'm not sure if I killed him with the drill there or just ran him the fuck over, but that was that. Alright guys, after lots of failed attempts, I have finally figured out how to make a drill work. And I've even set it up to the controller like I wanted. So, under here, let's show you. Oh, I think if I remove that one. I have this loop. Alright. So I have those blocks in there to give it a little bit more stability after that one failed attempt. But, so this is the bearing powered drill. Each set of bearings spins the next little pipe piece, which spins when that pipe piece spins, it also spins the bearing, which then spins independently, spinning the next pipe piece, which spins that pipe piece and the next bearing, and so forth. And you can see by the arrows there, as you go down, each bearing is spinning faster and faster, just the whole bearing's being rotated by the previous bearings. The first bearing isn't moving at all because the object itself is stationary on the block, or the block it's on is stationary, and it's just spinning the next block. But since that block is spinning, it spins this bearing. So that's why you get, and it looks like it's spinning, which normally it wouldn't do. But since the block it's on is spinning, it's spinning in the little picture there. And you can just see the more bearings we have, the faster this drill spins. So that is that. Pretty simple. It works pretty well without any gas now. It's just controlled by this little controller here that tells them to rotate in a loop. And I could upgrade it and make them go a little faster, or I could add a couple extra bearings, which I might do at some point, but this is more of trying to get it to work before I put it on the final creation. I'm not sure why it spins fast and then slow. Maybe it's because these aren't up all the way. Let's see if that makes any real difference. It seems to be spinning at a more consistent, faster rate. But I'm not 100% sure. Maybe? Nah, we'll figure that out another day. But here's how it works. It doesn't knock my vehicle around quite as much as when it was powered by the gas engine. I think it's a little slower, but I can actually chop up resources. Even the pieces, once they get on the ground, as long as I can get over them, I can break them up without having to need a drill on the bottom. I do have a drill on the bottom of my vehicle still, just because I haven't removed it, but I don't have it powered by anything. But that's so much easier than all that complicated spinning dual drill bits that I had before. So yeah, there's that. And it doesn't take any gas. I'm going to also change my wheels to actually power the vehicle that way too, I think, when I build the next model, because it's going to be bigger to carry all my stuff. The ground here is a little weird, so it doesn't work quite as well as it did in some other areas, but it does work a whole lot better. And driving over those things is messing me up a bit. It does work significantly better than it did in the previous iterations of this. Alright guys, I'm going to attempt to make a little farm here after a long ado and see if I can make something work. Well, I was trying to build a wall and I ran out of pieces and I was just putting down a base layer. I figured where all my wall went. Under the world. Or all my stone. I'd used up more than 200 pieces of stone, making just a straight line. And that wasn't what I was trying to do at all. Oh! He almost ruined my day. Go get my stone from underneath the world. After I pick it up, I might show you guys. We'll see what happens if I just fall off here. I told you I would show you guys that at some point. I'll go ahead and pick up the seat and just see what happens here. That looks pretty neat. Oh, alright. You just end up back on the fucking surface and you're dead. Okay. I'm so glad I didn't do that before with my spawn point below the map. That wasn't quite the result I was thinking would happen. I'm leaving a block in the middle because I want it to be centered, and I need it to be odd number of squares wide to be centered. So it's going to be 33 by 33 So our circle, I'm making a circle here. It's going to be 33 squares in diameter. Let's see if I remember how to make a circle. That was the whatchamacallit thing. No wonder my game's been a little laggy. That controller and mess up thing that I did earlier on is still flying around. I would like that controller back, but I don't think there's any way I'm going to catch it with it bouncing all around. I think I'm going to just have all these spin at the same time connected to the motor. So let's see how big these are. So that's that. Then I want the bearing. So first bearing will be there. I want 8. Sorry. Did I put 2 bearings on top of each other? Did I lose a bearing? No. Can I just put bearings on top of bearings like that? No, okay. I want the bearing, and then I want 7, then 8, and 7, then 8, then 7, then 8, then 7. That's 1. Now we'll just look at the connecting tool for bearings. Alright, so here's what I got at the moment. I have the saw blades. I haven't set them up to spin yet. I have them attached to my arm, which this area is going to be a farm. Eventually, so eventually the saw blades are going to spin. But right now I'm just kind of testing the concept still. I have them hooked up to this button and then the whole thing spins. It's not quite balanced right. I'm not sure how much that matters. I may build just a second set of saw blades on this end and then it'd be pretty balanced on this back end. But that's a task for another day. But these will spin, and when the farm bots come to attack my farm, they'll get stopped on this wall and then just hit by the moving saw blades. It's just that did 5 points of damage to me. Each one of those should do a bunch of damage once I get them spinning. And I have this block here because for it to be able to connect to anything, or for me to be able to connect things, they have to be connected in the same object. Now I actually did the glitch where I accidentally put blocks, let's turn that off, blocks underground. So I do have, these are connected, but I have the blocks going underground. So they clip through the world and then come back up. Which I'm going to do the same thing with these. I just need to set that up. Let's set that up real quick. So we want that. So I go down, and then you see the, let's see. So you see the arrow there? If you go down, the arrow moves a little bit, and that kind of signifies that you're down a couple blocks. So we go down and connect again. And with that, I should be able to remove this set of blocks and have that for all connected, but it's not. Alright. Okay, let's see what's going on down here. Oh, I think when I deleted the blocks, I deleted underground also. Or they just weren't connected to anything once I deleted them, so I think they are somewhere in the void. So let's see if we can connect this all back up again. I'm in my way, though. Let's see how much I can move. There we go. Alright, now all that is connected. Now that those are connected at some point, we should be able to wire that back up. Okay, I'm obviously not connected someplace. Ah, I think there. Let's see. Kind of looked like somewhere in here things. Ah, there we go. I figured it out. I think just out of the corner of my eye there, I saw that creation that I made that flew away. It's playing me. Alright. So, I deleted the block underneath it. So I had this piece next to it, but not actually connected. So now, if we go like this, I should be able to grab that from there. Bloop. There we go. Now it's connected. I may take this a step further and run the on and off switch into my house. But I don't really think that's necessary. It's just a possibility. When I get some more stone, I'll do that kind of stuff. Or if I set this up and it works right, I'll take the time to do it nice. Alright, now we just need to rig up the other... Where are they? There they are. Bloop. Actually, I could... I think it'd be better to have it on two separate controllers and buttons. But I could put it on the same controller. But... I'll put it all... I might need a second switch, but I may be able to... Okay. And then let's turn that off. Change that to 180 and turn off the loop. There we go. Alright, now it's right here so I can make the connections easily. Oh, and I'm gonna need to upgrade this. Alright, so that gives me 4 connections. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, since I have to upgrade it again to get those connections, I might as well just use one of these instead of 2. Let's see how that works. And then we'll put this one over here. Alright. So connection 7 is there. And we'll loop all that. I can't tell if those are. Yes, that's probably part of the reason I'd want one. Yeah. For the moment, let's disconnect this one. I think that might just do the trick. Okay. Let's go ahead and plant some stuff and see how it works. Alright, after some experimenting, I figured out how to get this to work. So I could eventually water my crops. I need to get a switch instead of a button. That's so much easier getting water than it used to be. One bucket. I'd have to take one bucket over to the craft bot, and it'd give me one of those for each bucket I took over. That was used to be a pain in the ass. If I realized this is what this thing did, I'd have made it sooner. Okay. So I can fill a bucket directly from this and water my crops that way. The funny thing is I'm holding water that I can't drink and I'm just dying of thirst and hunger. It's glitched out of there. We don't want that. Alright, let's make sure that's all welded together. I don't think those two pieces, I don't know. Let's turn it on and see if it works this time. I'm just over here. Hello, I'm over here minding my own business. Figured I'd show you how this guy aggroed on me, how well this thing worked. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it killed 5 little bots. Without me having to do anything. So far, I think this is worth it. I wish I could get more of the hay bots. Oh, speaking of that, I found out the names of the different bots. The ones that I just fought were tote bots. Their heads, it's because their heads are tote boxes. Let's see. There they are. Bloop. So the ones with these heads are tote bots. I guess if I ever looked at the head, I could have seen that. And then the ones with the pitchforks are called hay bots. But so far, this is my little farm. I only have it half filled, but even so, this is quite a bit of area. And this just runs 24/7, and even if some hay bots attack it during the day, which I did have, that's why I repaired this section with wood, the hay bots kind of take a couple extra hits, and they do some damage to the walls before they get killed. I'm in the process of building the back half of it now. And I've built the drills for my car. I decided I'd go with 3 just sticking off the front. And they'll go right here in front of the resource collector. And then I have the refinery bot behind them. I haven't built the wheels yet, but I'm going to do the same bearing-powered wheels for same bearing power type thing that I have for these, so I won't have to worry about gas anymore. Well, I turned off the spinning saw blades as I was doing some modifications and playing with the water. I was down there and something came and broke through a wall and stomped all my crops. It just goes to show how important it is to keep this up all the time. Just over there a little bit, and now I don't have any crops growing. I think eventually I'm going to upgrade these into into better walls, so it takes a little bit more for them to destroy them. But if I don't have this on, it doesn't really matter what kind of wall I have up. I think if I have it on, it doesn't really matter what kind of wall I have up. The farm bot or the hay bots will still do a little bit of damage to it. So I noticed this item just continuously falling from the sky, and at first I thought it was that little contraption that I let fly away. And it turns out that it is a piece of metal. Let's see, there it is. Oh, I hit it. Did that stop it? Hopefully that's slowed it down enough it would stop continuously falling. That takes up processing power. Well, this is the largest group that's attacked the farm so far. Oh, they're aggroing on me. Look at the carnage. I'm so glad I have this set to automated. I don't know what I'd do otherwise. Alright, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At least 10 robots. Would that be a warning to them? Alright, I'll see you guys after a bit. Just had to share the carnage.